This video is sponsored by Tyler Boone, the founder of TI Projects. His high-quality titanium design skills have brought beautiful custom merchandise across the blockchain sector. The Guardian Arc Plate is a solution for self-custody. It helps keep your private keys safe and protected. Fireproof, waterproof, future-proof. I couldn't have had a better sponsor for this important video. Click on the link in the description and watch for his newly designed accessories that are coming to the Wave of Innovation, the XRP conference in Australia this March. The world is nearing quantum supremacy. The race is on. And this is a first in a series of 5 videos that will look at what action is being taken to keep our world of encryption safe and secure. BTQ Technologies is a company which brought the first post-quantum computer commercial use case for blockchains, with a globally leading patent portfolio. Capabilities of quantum computers are advancing at a doubly exponential rate and projected to reach a total addressable market in commercialization of $9+ billion by 2027. They have a global presence, operating offices in Vancouver, Canada, Liechtenstein, Taiwan, where a majority of their engineering sits, and research divisions in Tokyo, Japan, and Sydney, Australia. As a public company, they trade on the OTCQX market, NEO, and Frankfurt Exchange. The team consists of just under 40 employees, led by CEO Olivier Newton. He has spent the better part of the last decade working on cryptographic infrastructure with in-depth industry knowledge and experience for software development and security. Nicholas Newton, CTO and co-founder, brings his end-to-end encryption and authentication keys knowledge with operating in a unique space of computational complexities. Dr. Po Chun Kool, the Chief Technology Officer and post-quantum researcher, specializing in cryptography, blockchain, and graph theory, has an impressive archive of scholarly articles that total thousands of citations. Chen Mo Chang is BTQ's chief cryptographer. A world leader in post-quantum research, he has a position he also holds at the Kanazawa University as an adjunct professor. Let's start off with just a little introduction from Anastasia Marchenkova.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Marchenkova, and I've been in the quantum industry and academia for almost 15 years now. I started my work in quantum telecommunications in undergrad, where I studied neutral atom quantum memories. Then I went into graduate school and wanted to do a little work with trapped ions, got a little bored, and went into academia, where I started working on superconducting qubits, software engineering, and algorithms.
Anastasia will be back later in the video. We'll kick off in high gear with Christopher Tam, Head of Partnerships, and he's going to explain Pron. It's a post-quantum unique application, setting this company apart, which has garnered coverage in Bloomberg, Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, and many other major medias. They're focused around digital signatures, and it's extremely fascinating work to secure mission-critical networks.
Yeah, so at our BTQ team, we've assembled a really strong team of PhDs and people with strong academic backgrounds. Over 70% of our team is focused on R&D, or research and development. And in total, our team has over 10,000 citations across the fields of quantum computing and post-quantum cryptography. So I know that we'll be diving into our team a little bit more at a later video, and really looking forward to going into the nuances of what our team brings to the table. BTQ, we recently led the development of Pron, which is a post-quantum cryptography scheme, which has been selected by NIST in the first round of additional signatures for consideration in their post-quantum cryptography standardization process. It's the US government standardizations body, and they're really responsible for setting what all American companies and government organizations use in terms of cybersecurity. So our submission Pron is a post-quantum signature scheme again, and this is important because it features really small key sizes and also fast key generation. And then it also on the security side has minimal assumptions and is very flexible in terms of the applications that it can perform. Really unique solution to being first post-quantum or quantum resistant, and then also having some really nice applications in the business world. So we co-authored this alongside Han Hai Research Institute, which is the research arm of the global leader Han Hai Precision Industry, also known as Foxconn, as well as some other leaders in the field of zero-knowledge proofs. And there was also a great report that came out that showed that Pron was the only candidate in our category to have survived the first 30 hours of testing and assessment, which we're really proud of. Well, we help companies think 2 steps ahead when it comes to the migration to post-quantum cryptography, or PQC. So not only do we build and implement these post-quantum cryptographic primitives, but we also make them faster and easier to use in production. So there are typically increased costs when it comes to quantum security. Under the NIST standardized post-quantum cryptographic algorithms, these are all much more expensive when it comes to signature to essentially byte lengths, or the amount that it takes to store these signatures, public keys and private keys in systems. And it's much more expensive than what's being used today, such as elliptic curve cryptography. Specifically around digital signatures, which is what we focus a lot of our optimizations around, because digital signatures are extremely important and widely used in every application. The cost of using these post-quantum digital signatures increases rapidly. So every time you send a message over the internet, you sign that message, and you can imagine that if every signed message is 10 times larger than what it was before, because it's now using post-quantum cryptography, the impacts on latencies and costs to networks and users and also businesses plays a tremendous role in adoption. Yeah, so we love working with new teams and thinking about how we can bring post-quantum cryptography and ZK to existing chains and applications. So if you're a team who's working on anything in the blockchain space, feel free to reach out to us, and we would love to work out how we can work together to make your application or chain secure.
Anastasia will now take us out with her input on this quantum race.
And as we're looking at quantum computing, maybe being able to break this cryptography in the 2030s, it seems far away, but there's a lot of work to do. So we have to start doing this now. And that's where I see a lot of work and a lot of impact that's going to happen very, very quickly. I think there's still a race in quantum computing and quantum security, right? So people want to be the first to have the quantum computer, but want everyone else to not have the encryption yet set up, right? So there is a race. So NIST is the National Institute of Standards and Technology is NIST. They are US based, but they are open, and a lot of countries will take their guidance from NIST in the end. So there is that collaboration. Corporations can get involved, academia can get involved, international bodies can get involved. But again, there's a little bit of it's kind of an arms race on its own right now, right? It's like you want to build the hardware, but also have the software ready. So you have to attack kind of from all fronts. Earlier this year, late last year, White House put out the directives saying that, yes, we're going to invest more money into quantum technology, including quantum security, but start building out a roadmap, start doing audits, start putting together a quantum task force, because you will need to come into compliance and figure that out. And, even on their papers, they say, if your vendor doesn't have a roadmap, you should probably drop them. So that's a huge opportunity for startups, new companies, and other people to get ahead of the curve, because if an old, slow-moving company is not doing that, they will have to be dropped, and that's time for maybe a startup or a new up-and-comer to take their place. You got to start upgrading now. Government vendors are already under directives to start going through and documenting what's their cryptography, where is it, how do they need to upgrade, who are their vendors, what's their roadmaps, right? So this is a huge task, because encryption is everywhere in our digital lives, and it's not going to go away, and we need to keep it active, and we need to be able to quickly upgrade in face of these threats. I'd say BTQ is definitely one of the companies in the space working on this. There are a few more at different stages, right? So you have people across the board that have divisions that are working on quantum security. So like I mentioned, the government is having task forces working on this. There's quantum blockchains that are building the blockchain from scratch. There are companies working on the post-quantum encryption side and the quantum encryption side. So post-quantum encryption means we're using mathematical problems like we do today to encrypt against quantum computers, but there's also quantum cryptography, which means actually using quantum principles to encrypt. And technically, since that uses physical laws and not mathematical constructs, that would be technically maybe unhackable. However, that would only work with a different type of encryption. So post-quantum cryptography is better for asymmetric encryption, quantum cryptography better for symmetric encryption. So there's really so many more other niche subfields, and people are trying to work on that. And yeah, the big tech companies are also having divisions when they're trying to figure out what to do, as mandated by these government agencies as well. And so companies like this are putting together solutions because they're the ones that have the talent right now, the right combination of talent to really understand the cryptography side, blockchain side, the quantum side, and put it all together. So a lot of opportunity in the future. Quantum computing itself can affect so many industries very positively: pharmaceuticals, healthcare, financial industries, optimization. There's so many problems there that could be solved and helped with quantum computers. I'm glad we're not stopping the progress of quantum computing because of this encryption issue, and that opens just a lot of doors to new technology, new interesting technology, crypto agility. There's a lot of opportunity there. So I don't want to just fearmonger. There's really a bright future, I think, for blockchain and security.